The vast emptiness of space held many secrets, but none as surprising as the fate that awaited Earth. For centuries, humans had looked to the stars, dreaming of first contact. When it finally came, it was nothing like they had imagined. The Galactic Council, a group of advanced alien races, had been watching Earth for a long time. They saw humans as primitive and easy to control. One day, without warning, they revealed themselves to the world. At first, people were excited. Aliens were real, but the excitement didn't last long. The Council wasn't here to be friends. They were here to take over. Within weeks, Earth's governments fell. The aliens had technology far beyond anything on Earth. They could control the weather, move mountains, and even raid mines. Resistance seemed pointless. The Council divided Earth into sectors, each controlled by a different alien race. Humans were treated like animals, good only for work and entertainment. They were forced to mine their own planet's resources, which were shipped off to far corners of the galaxy. In New York, once a symbol of human achievement, alien towers now scraped the sky. John, a former office worker, now spent his days cleaning these towers. He watched as strange creatures in floating pods zipped between buildings. Sometimes he caught glimpses of other humans, their eyes down, shoulders slumped. "Move faster, Earth creature," a harsh voice bellowed. John flinched as a shock ran through the collar around his neck. He scrubbed harder at the shimmering alien metal. Across the ocean in London, Sarah huddled in a dark alley. She was part of a small group of humans who had escaped the alien work camps. They called themselves the Resistance, though so far, all they could do was hide and survive. "We found some food," whispered Tom, Sarah's brother, as he slipped into their hiding spot. He pulled out some strange-looking fruits, stolen from an alien garden. Sarah took a bite and grimaced. It tasted like a mix of rotten eggs and sugar. But it was food, and they couldn't be picky. In the remnants of Beijing, Lai Wei worked in an alien laboratory. He had been a brilliant scientist before the invasion. Now, he was little more than a lab assistant, carrying out basic tasks for his alien masters. As he cleaned a set of strange instruments, Lai Wei's mind raced. He understood more of the alien tech than they realized. Piece by piece, he was putting together a picture of their weaknesses. But he had to be careful. One wrong move, one suspicious glance, and he'd be eliminated. High above the Earth, in a massive space station, the Galactic Council held a meeting. Representatives from a dozen alien races sat around a glowing table. "The Earth operation is proceeding as planned," reported Zix, a tall, gray-skinned being. "Resource extraction is ahead of schedule." "Excellent," rumbled Klon, a creature that looked like a cross between a rhino and an octopus. "Any signs of significant resistance?" "None," Zix replied with a smirk. "The humans are pathetically weak. They've accepted their place quickly." But Zix was wrong. Deep underground, in bunkers and caves around the world, humans were gathering. They shared information, planned, and prepared. The aliens had made a crucial mistake. They had underestimated humanity's greatest strength, its spirit. In one such bunker, beneath the ruins of Moscow, a group of former military leaders from around the world met in secret. "We've managed to salvage some weapons," reported General Chen, formerly of the Chinese army. "And our hackers are making progress in understanding alien communications." "Good," nodded Admiral Petrov, once of the Russian Navy. "But we need more. We need a game changer." As they spoke, a young woman burst into the room. "Sirs," she said, breathless with excitement, "we've done it. Project Phoenix is ready." The room fell silent. Project Phoenix was their last, best hope. A weapon that could turn the tide against the aliens. Its existence was known only to a select few. "Are you sure it's ready?" Admiral Petrov asked, his voice barely above a whisper. The woman nodded. "Yes, sir. We've tested it. It works." For the first time since the invasion, smiles appeared on the faces of Earth's secret leaders. The aliens thought they had won. They thought Earth was defeated. They were about to learn how wrong they were. As night fell across the planet, millions of humans went to sleep in chains. But beneath the surface, hope was stirring. The time for Earth's revenge was approaching. And when it came, the Galactic Council would be left in shock. The day that would change everything started like any other under alien rule. Humans trudged to their assigned tasks, heads down, trying not to attract attention. But beneath the surface, a current of excitement ran through hidden networks of resistance. In New York, John was cleaning windows on the 100th floor of an alien skyscraper when he saw it. A sleek, purple ship, different from the usual alien crafts, descended from the clouds. He squinted, heart racing. This was it, the signal they'd been waiting for. Across the city, in dark alleys and hidden basements, resistance members sprang into action. Sarah and Tom emerged from their hiding spot, disguised as work crews. They moved through the streets, whispering coded messages to others as they passed. In London, Moscow, Beijing, and 100 other cities around the world, the scene was the same. Humans who had been cowed and beaten down for months suddenly stood a little straighter, eyes gleaming with purpose. The purple ship landed in Central Park, now a stark alien garden of crystalline trees and glowing fungi. From it emerged Zorblax, a high-ranking member of the Galactic Council. Tall, with shimmering blue skin and 4 arms, Zorblax surveyed the area with 6 blinking eyes. "Bring me your Earth leaders," Zorblax demanded of the local alien overseer. "I wish to inspect their progress personally." The overseer bowed low. "At once, exalted one. Though I must warn you, these humans are quite primitive, hardly worth your valuable time." Zorblax waved a dismissive hand. "I will judge that for myself." As alien guards scurried to obey, hidden cameras captured every moment. In the Moscow bunker, Admiral Petrov watched the feed with clenched fists. "It's time," he said to the others. "Launch Operation Phoenix." Across the globe, resistance cells sprang into action. In New York, John accidentally dropped his cleaning equipment, spilling a strange, shimmering liquid across the alien metal. In London, Sarah and Tom released tiny, insect-like robots into the air. In Beijing, Lai Wei pressed a hidden button on his lab coat, activating a device that had taken months to build in secret. Zorblax was in the middle of berating a group of trembling human leaders, actually resistance plants, when the first signs of trouble appeared. The crystalline trees in the park began to wilt and crack. The glowing fungi dimmed and shriveled. "What is the meaning of this?" Zorblax demanded, all 6 eyes blinking rapidly. Before anyone could answer, alarms began blaring across the city. Alien technology started to malfunction. Floating vehicles dropped from the sky. Force fields flickered and died. In orbit, on the massive alien space station, panic erupted. Systems shut down one by one. Artificial gravity failed, sending aliens tumbling through the air. Back on Earth, Zorblax's personal shield sputtered and died. For the first time, real fear showed in those alien eyes. "What have you done?" he screeched at the humans. That's when the resistance struck. From hidden caches all over the city, humans armed with salvaged and modified alien weapons emerged. Led by Sarah and Tom, they quickly overwhelmed the confused alien guards. John rappelled down from his window cleaning platform, landing in front of Zorblax. He pulled out a strange device, a mix of human and alien tech. "This," he said, "is humanity's response to your oppression." The device hummed to life, creating a field that neutralized alien tech while leaving human technology unaffected. It was the culmination of months of secret work, the result of human ingenuity and determination. Zorblax stumbled back, suddenly vulnerable. "Impossible," he gasped. "You're primitives, savages. We're humans," John corrected, as Sarah and Tom moved to surround the alien leader. "And we're taking back our planet." Similar scenes played out around the world. The carefully planned, globally coordinated attack caught the aliens completely off guard. Within hours, major cities were back in human hands. As night fell, Admiral Petrov addressed the world from the captured alien headquarters in Moscow. "People of Earth," he said, his voice firm, "today marks the beginning of our fight back. We have struck a mighty blow, but the war is not over. The Galactic Council will retaliate. But now they know, Earth is not defeated. Earth will never be defeated." Cheers erupted around the world. In New York, John, Sarah, and Tom hugged each other, tears in their eyes. For the first time since the invasion, they allowed themselves to feel something they'd almost forgotten: hope. In space, aboard the crippled alien station, the remaining council members received the news with shock and disbelief. Earth, it seemed, was far more dangerous than they had ever imagined. The days following Earth's surprise attack were filled with frantic activity. Humans worked tirelessly to secure their newfound freedom and prepare for the inevitable alien counterattack. In the depths of the Rocky Mountains, a secret facility hummed with energy. This was the heart of Project Phoenix, Earth's hidden weapon development program. Scientists and engineers from around the world worked side by side, pushing the boundaries of human knowledge. Dr. Emily Chen, once a quantum physicist at MIT, now led the most crucial project. She stood before a massive device that looked like a cross between a satellite dish and a giant microscope. "The disruption field is stable," she announced to the room. "We can now extend its range to cover entire continents." Admiral Petrov nodded approvingly. "Excellent work, Dr. Chen. And the power source?" "That's where things get interesting," Emily said with a smile. She led the group to a sealed chamber. Inside, a small glowing cube floated in midair. "Is that?" John asked, his eyes wide. He had been brought to the facility as a representative of the New York resistance. Emily nodded. "Yes, we reverse-engineered it from alien tech. It's a zero-point energy module. Unlimited power, drawn from the fabric of space-time itself." The implications were staggering. With this technology, Earth could power its defenses indefinitely. Meanwhile, in orbit, the remains of the Galactic Council struggled to regroup. Their massive space station, once a symbol of their power, now drifted helplessly. Zorblax, still reeling from his capture and subsequent escape, addressed the surviving council members. "We underestimated these humans," he hissed. "They are not the primitives we thought them to be." "What do you propose?" asked Klyax, a reptilian being from a distant star system. "We must crush them," Zorblax replied, his 6 eyes glowing with anger. "Gather our fleets. We will turn their precious Earth to ash." As the alien armada assembled, Earth prepared. The disruption field now covered most of the planet, rendering alien tech useless within its range. But the humans knew this shield alone wouldn't be enough. In secret bases around the world, a new type of military force trained day and night. They wore powered armor reverse-engineered from alien tech, enhanced by human ingenuity. These soldiers could now go toe-to-toe with alien warriors. Sarah and Tom were among the first to don this new armor. As they ran through combat simulations, their movements were a blur of speed and precision. "I never thought I'd say this," Tom said during a break, "but I almost feel sorry for the aliens." Sarah grinned. "Save that sympathy. We'll need every advantage we can get." High above the Earth, on the far side of the moon, Lai Wei oversaw the construction of humanity's first true space fleet. Sleek ships, combining the best of human and alien technology, stood ready for launch. "We're as ready as we'll ever be," Lai Wei reported back to Earth. "Though I wish we had more time." Time, however, was a luxury they didn't have. Long-range sensors, salvaged from alien outposts, detected the approach of the Galactic Armada. Admiral Petrov called an emergency meeting of Earth's new unified command. Representatives from every continent gathered, their faces grim but determined. "The enemy approaches," Petrov announced. "They outnumber us, but we have surprises in store. Emily, if you would." Dr. Chen stepped forward, activating a holographic display. "We've developed a new weapon," she explained. "We call it the gravity lance. It can create localized singularities, artificial black holes, small and short-lived, but devastating to enemy ships." A murmur of awe ran through the room. This was beyond anything they had imagined possible just months ago. "We've also," Emily continued, "found a way to use the aliens' faster-than-light communication against them. We can disrupt their coordination, sow chaos in their ranks." As the meeting concluded, John found himself staring out a window at the night sky. Somewhere up there, humanity's greatest threat was approaching. But for the first time, he felt they had a real chance. "Penny, for your thoughts?" Sarah asked, joining him. John smiled. "Just thinking about how far we've come. From window washers and hidden resistance to this." He gestured at the bustling command center. "And we're not done yet," Sarah replied, her eyes shining with determination. "The real fight is just beginning." As if on cue, alarms began to blare. On screens around the room, dots appeared, representing the incoming alien fleet. "All personnel to battle stations," Admiral Petrov's voice rang out. "The future of Earth depends on what we do in the coming hours. May fortune favor the bold." Across the planet, humans prepared for the fight of their lives. The Galactic Council was about to learn just how dangerous Earth could be. The sky lit up with brilliant flashes as the Galactic Council's armada entered Earth's orbit. Thousands of alien ships, each larger than a city, filled the view from every corner of the planet. For a moment, the world held its breath. Admiral Petrov stood in the Global Command Center, his face illuminated by the glow of holographic displays. "Activate the disruption field," he ordered, his voice steady despite the tension. With a low hum, the invisible shield expanded, enveloping the Earth. As it reached the alien fleet, chaos erupted. Hundreds of ships suddenly lost power, drifting aimlessly in space. On the alien flagship, Zorblack's rage. "What is this trickery?" he bellowed, his 6 eyes blinking rapidly in confusion. "Unknown, Exalted One," a subordinate replied, panic clear in its voice. "Our systems are failing. We can't maintain orbit." Back on Earth, John and Sarah watched from the cockpit of their new hybrid fighter jet. The ship, a marvel of combined human and alien tech, hovered silently above New York. "This is Firebird 1, John said into his comm, "ready to launch on your command." All around the world, similar scenes played out. Earth's hastily assembled defense force prepared for the fight of their lives. Admiral Petrov's voice crackled over the global channel. "All units, engage. Remember your training. For Earth." With that, humanity's counterattack began. Swarms of fighter jets shot up from hidden bases, their advanced cloaking technology making them nearly invisible until the last second. John and Sarah led the charge over North America. Their ships darted between the massive alien cruisers, firing precise shots at weak points identified by Earth's scientists. "Gravity lance armed," Sarah called out. She took careful aim at a particularly large alien ship. Firing. A beam of concentrated energy shot out from their fighter. Where it hit the alien vessel, space itself seemed to warp. The ship crumpled inward, crushed by an artificial singularity. Similar scenes played out across the globe. Lai Wei, commanding Earth's moon base, launched salvos of missiles that could change direction mid-flight, chasing down evasive alien craft. In orbit, Tom led a team of space-suited humans, using their new powered armor to board disabled alien ships. They fought through corridors, securing vital technology and prisoners for interrogation. But the aliens weren't going down without a fight. Despite the disruption field, some of their ships remained operational. They returned fire, their energy beams carving glowing paths through the atmosphere. Several major cities took hits. The Sydney Opera House crumbled under alien fire. The pyramids of Giza were reduced to rubble. But for every human structure destroyed, the defenders took out dozens of alien ships. In the command center, Dr. Emily Chen worked furiously at her console. "Admiral," She called out, "I've cracked their communication encryption. We can broadcast directly to their fleet." Admiral Petrov grinned. "Excellent work, Doctor. Let's show them what we can do." Across the alien armada, confusion turned to panic as their own communication channels were flooded with human transmissions. Contradictory orders, false retreat signals, and demoralizing messages in their own languages spread chaos through their ranks. Zorblax watched in horror as his carefully planned invasion crumbled. "This is impossible," he muttered. "They were primitives. How could they?" His words were cut short as his flagship rocked with explosions. Tom's boarding party had reached the bridge. "In the name of Earth," Tom declared, his powered armor making him tower over the alien leader, "you are under arrest." As word of Zorblax's capture spread, the tide of the battle turned decisively. Without central leadership, the alien fleet fell into disarray. Some ships attempted to flee, only to be picked off by Earth's defenders. Others surrendered, their crews realizing the futility of further resistance. As the sun set on the first day of the battle, cheers erupted in cities around the world. Humans poured into the streets, hugging strangers and weeping with joy. In the command center, Admiral Petrov allowed himself a small smile. "Well done, everyone," he said to his tired but elated staff. "But don't celebrate too much yet. This was just the first wave. The real war is just beginning." As if to emphasize his words, long-range sensors detected new signals. From the depths of space, more alien fleets were approaching. The Galactic Council was not done with Earth yet. But this time, humanity was ready. This time, they would fight back. And this time, they would win. The aftermath of Earth's first victory was a mix of celebration and frantic preparation. As the captured alien ships were towed to secure facilities for study, humanity braced for the next wave of attacks. In a heavily guarded room deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Admiral Petrov faced an unusual prisoner. Zorblax, once a feared member of the Galactic Council, now sat restrained, his 6 eyes darting nervously. "Why?" Petrov asked simply. "Why did you attack Earth?" Zorblax's translator crackled. "You were meant to be easy prey. A resource-rich world with primitive inhabitants. We've done this 1,000 times before." John, standing nearby, couldn't contain his anger. "We're not primitive. We fought you off." "Yes," Zorblax admitted, a hint of fear in his voice. "You are unexpected." Meanwhile, in laboratories around the world, scientists worked tirelessly to understand the alien technology. Dr. Emily Chen led a team examining the captured ships faster than light drives. "If we can replicate this," she explained to Sarah, who was visiting the lab, "we could reach the stars. We could take the fight to them." Sarah nodded, her eyes wide with the possibilities. "How long?" Emily sighed. "Normally years, but with the whole world working together, maybe months." They didn't have months. Long-range sensors detected multiple fleets approaching from different directions. The Galactic Council was pulling out all the stops to crush Earth's resistance. In response, humanity pushed itself to new limits. Tom oversaw the mass production of powered armor suits, turning ordinary soldiers into near-invincible warriors. Lai Wei expanded the moon base into a fortress, bristling with weapons reverse-engineered from alien tech. But Earth's greatest hope lay in a project so secret, even most world leaders didn't know about it. In a hidden facility under the Amazon rainforest, John and a team of elite scientists worked on Project Nemesis. "It's insane," John muttered, looking at the massive device taking shape before him. "If this works." "It has to work," his colleague, Dr. Yuki Tanaka, replied grimly. "It's our only chance to end this war before it destroys us all." As the days ticked by, tension mounted. The alien fleets drew closer, their numbers far greater than the first wave. Earth's defenders took up positions, knowing they were outnumbered but determined to fight to the last. In New York, now a fortress city, Sarah trained new recruits in the use of hybrid fighter jets. "Remember," she told them, "we have one advantage they don't expect: unpredictability. Use it. The night before the expected attack, Admiral Petrov addressed the world. His weathered face appeared on screens in every home, every shelter, every battleship. "People of Earth," he began, his voice steady, "tomorrow we face our greatest challenge. The enemy comes in overwhelming numbers, thinking to crush us with sheer force. But they don't understand what it means to be human." Across the planet, billions listened, drawing strength from his words. "We are survivors. We are innovators. And most importantly, we are united. Every person, every nation, standing as one against those who would enslave us. Tomorrow, we fight not just for our lives, but for our very humanity." As Petrov spoke, the first signs of the approaching fleet appeared in the night sky, pinpricks of light, growing larger by the minute. In the Amazon facility, alarms blared. "They're ahead of schedule," Dr. Tanaka shouted. "John, we need to activate Nemesis now." John's hands flew over the controls, his heart pounding. This was untested technology, a desperate gamble. If it failed, he pushed the thought aside and slammed his hand down on the activation switch. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, with a sound like reality itself tearing, a massive portal opened in Earth's orbit. On screens around the world, people watched in awe as the swirling vortex grew, directly in the path of the oncoming alien fleet. "What have you done?" Zorblax gasped, watching from his cell. Admiral Petrov allowed himself a grim smile. "We've changed the rules of the game." As the first alien ships reached the portal, they were suddenly, violently pulled in. Hundreds, then thousands of ships vanished into the swirling maw of what scientists would later call a controlled wormhole. Earth held its breath, watching as their desperate plan unfolded. Would it be enough to turn the tide? Or had humanity's last, best hope just doomed them all? The answer lay on the other side of that portal, in a part of space no human had ever seen before. The war for Earth was about to enter its final, decisive phase. The controlled wormhole pulsed in Earth's orbit, swallowing alien ships by the hundreds. On screens across the planet, humans watched with a mix of awe and terror as their desperate gambit unfolded. In the Amazon Control Center, John and Dr. Tanaka worked feverishly to maintain the portal's stability. "Where are we sending them?" John shouted over the roar of straining machinery. Dr. Tanaka's fingers flew over holographic controls. "To the heart of their empire," she replied, her voice tight with concentration. "We're not just defending Earth anymore. We're taking the fight to them." Across the wormhole, in a distant part of the galaxy, chaos erupted. The Galactic Council's home system, never before threatened, suddenly found itself under attack by its own returning fleet. On Earth, Admiral Petrov made a bold decision. All ships with wormhole shielding, prepared to enter the portal. It's time to end this war. Sarah and Tom, leading squadrons of Earth's new hybrid fighters, were the first to respond. "Firebird Squadron, ready for transgalactic jump," Sarah reported, her voice steady despite the enormous stakes. As Earth forces began to pour through the wormhole, the remaining alien ships around Earth found themselves caught between two fronts. Lai Wei, commanding the moon base, launched a barrage of gravity lances, creating a net of artificial singularities that trapped or destroyed dozens of enemy vessels. In New York, now a fortress city, civilians cheered as they watched alien ships fall from the sky. But their jubilation was cut short as a massive alien dreadnought, somehow resistant to the disruption field, descended through the clouds. "This is Commander Elena Rodriguez," a voice crackled over the city's communication system. "All civilians to shelters. Defense teams, engage the invader." Powered armor squads rocketed up from the streets, engaging the dreadnought with weapons that would have seemed like science fiction just months ago. The battle for New York raged, a microcosm of the larger war that now spanned the galaxy. Meanwhile, on the other side of the wormhole, Sarah and Tom led Earth's forces in a daring assault on the Galactic Council's capital world. The aliens, never expecting to fight a war on their home turf, were caught completely off guard. "This is for Earth," Tom shouted, his fighter weaving through exotic alien architecture as he fired on key military targets. Sarah, her sensors detecting a massive energy signature, made a split-second decision. "All units, follow me. I think I've found their central power core." As Earth's forces pushed deeper into alien territory, the Galactic Council fell into disarray. Zorblax, still a prisoner on Earth, watched in disbelief as reports came in. "Impossible," he muttered. "How could primitives like you?" Admiral Petrov, standing nearby, allowed himself a small smile. "You made one crucial mistake. You assumed that because our technology wasn't as advanced, our spirits could be easily broken. You were wrong." Back in the Amazon, alarms blared as the wormhole generator began to overload. "We can't keep it stable much longer," Dr. Tanaka shouted. John made a quick decision. "Broadcast to all Earth forces. They have 10 minutes to complete their mission and return, or they'll be stranded." Across the galaxy, human soldiers and pilots fought with renewed urgency. Sarah and Tom, having located the alien power core, led a desperate attack. "Gravity lance armed," Sarah called out. "Firing. Now." The resulting explosion was visible from space, a blossoming flower of destruction that engulfed the Galactic Council's seat of power. As the wormhole began to fluctuate wildly, Earth ships poured back through, carrying with them priceless alien technology and data. Sarah and Tom's fighters were the last to return, slipping through just as the portal collapsed. On Earth, cheers erupted in every city, every bunker, every ship. Against all odds, humanity had not only defended itself, but had struck a devastating blow against their would-be conquerors. Admiral Petrov addressed the world once more, his face etched with exhaustion but glowing with pride. "People of Earth, the battle is won. But our journey is just beginning. We have seen the galaxy, and it is full of wonders and dangers. But whatever comes next, we will face it together." As the sun rose on a new day, humanity looked to the stars not with fear, but with hope and determination. The Galactic Council had sought to conquer Earth. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant, one that would reshape the very fabric of galactic society. 5 years had passed since Earth's stunning victory over the Galactic Council. The planet, once a backwater world unknown to most of the galaxy, now stood at the center of a rapidly changing cosmic order. In the gleaming halls of the new Galactic Assembly, located in the heart of a rebuilt New York City, representatives from 100 alien races gathered. Some came as allies, others as former enemies seeking peace. All of them watched with a mix of awe and unease as Admiral Petrov, now Earth's primary representative, took the stage. "Friends, colleagues, beings of all worlds," Petrov began, his voice carrying the weight of Earth's incredible journey. 5 years ago, we were fighting for our very survival. Today, we gather to shape the future of our galaxy. Among the audience, John, Sarah, and Tom sat proudly in their formal uniforms, decorated with medals that spoke of their heroic deeds. Beside them, Dr. Emily Chen and Dr. Yuki Tanaka represented Earth's scientific community, their innovations having revolutionized space travel and energy production across known space. Petrov continued, "We propose a new era of cooperation, where knowledge and resources are shared for the benefit of all. No more conquest, no more subjugation. Together, we can explore the universe and face its challenges as one." As he spoke, holographic displays showed the incredible progress Earth had made. Colonies on Mars and Europa thrived under protective domes. Massive space stations orbited distant stars, serving as hubs for trade and cultural exchange. Earth ships, now equipped with faster-than-light drives, patrolled the galaxy, keeping the peace. In a secure room beneath the assembly hall, Lai Wei oversaw a different kind of meeting. Zorblax, the former Galactic Council member, sat across from him, no longer a prisoner but a reluctant advisor. "Your people move too fast," Zorblax grumbled, all 6 eyes blinking nervously. You don't understand the dangers that lurk in the dark between stars. Lai Wei smiled patiently. Perhaps. But we're learning. And we're not afraid to face those dangers head-on. Back in the main hall, Petrov was concluding his speech. Let this assembly be the foundation of a new galactic community. One built on mutual respect, shared knowledge, and a common desire for peace. As applause filled the room, not everyone seemed convinced. In dark corners of the galaxy, remnants of the old Galactic Council plotted and schemed. Other, older threats, awakened by the sudden shift in power, began to stir. But Earth was ready. In hidden bases across the planet, new technologies were being developed, defenses strengthened. Sarah led a new generation of pilots, training them to fly ships that could outmaneuver anything in known space. Tom oversaw the production of advanced AI systems that could predict and counter threats before they emerged. And deep in the Amazon, where it all began, John and Dr. Tanaka stood before an improved version of the wormhole generator. With this, Dr. Tanaka explained, we can reach parts of the universe we've only dreamed of. Imagine what we'll discover. As the new Galactic Assembly concluded its first session, a sense of cautious optimism filled the air. Alien diplomats mingled with human leaders, exchanging ideas and forging new alliances. Emily Chen found herself deep in conversation with a group of alien scientists, excitedly discussing the possibility of harnessing the energy of black holes. Nearby, Tom demonstrated Earth's latest powered armor to amazed alien military attaches, the suits now sleek and elegant compared to their crude beginnings. As night fell, Admiral Petrov stood on a balcony overlooking the city. New York had been rebuilt, its skyline now a mix of human and alien architecture, a symbol of the new era. Sarah joined him, gazing up at the stars. Hard to believe how far we've come, she said softly. Petrov nodded. And yet, I can't help but feel our greatest challenges and our greatest adventures still lie ahead. As if in response, a brilliant light streaked across the sky. A ship, returning from some far-flung corner of the galaxy, bringing with it new discoveries, new allies, and perhaps new dangers. Earth had taken its place among the stars. The planet that was once seen as an easy target had become a beacon of hope and progress for the entire galaxy. Whatever the future held, humanity would face it united, armed with courage, innovation, and an indomitable spirit that had shocked the Galactic Council and changed the course of cosmic history. As Petrov and Sarah watched the ship land, they knew one thing for certain. Earth's story in the grand tapestry of the universe was only just beginning.